Hey there, folks. This is my first Facebook Live in the bathtub. I've been on the phone with friends this morning, and happy Valentine's Day, by the way. I've been on the phone this morning with some friends, and it seems like a recurring theme that has come up a lot lately is vulnerability. And so I'm going to record a video live from my bathtub, which couldn't be more vulnerable. But actually it could be, but but what I want to share today is a couple things. First of all, as a spiritual teacher and the founder of Solutions, I've worked with people over the years, and so many of them have this twisted idea of what it means to be a positive person, what it means to be a spiritual person. And the biggest thing that I've noticed and that I've had to deal with myself in my own growth was, well, to be positive, to be spiritual, I have to always be loving and full of light and truth and sweetness and kindness and caring. And that's what it means to be spiritual. That's what it means to be positive. And a few years ago, I wrote an article called The Paradox of Positive Thinking, because I've seen this so much in how people take all of their emotions that are, quote, not of the light, meaning the anger, the hurt, the disappointment, the fear, the pain, and instead of dealing with those emotions, they shove it down into their subconscious, into their unconscious mind, and it festers, it metastasizes there in time. And if you can instead face and to be a truly loving person, love is the only emotion that allows you to be completely honest with how you feel, to be completely honest. And that's the key to what positive thinking is to be honest. The most positive thing you can do is to be honest with how you feel. And if you're angry, then feel your anger, be angry, express it, deal with it, take responsibility for it. Don't ignore it, don't deny it, don't shove it down, don't pretend that you're not angry because you're spiritual. That is the most ludicrous thing that anyone can do. And I know it's a slippery trap because I used to do the same thing. I used to try to cover it up and try to have this world's disguise of this perfect person, which never works. First of all, because I'm not perfect, and secondly, because it's not what the world needs. People need people to be real and authentic and honest, and the most positive thing you can do emotionally is to be honest with how you truly feel. And it took me a long time to really grasp that, but as I do now, I see the beauty and the power that's trapped inside my anger and my hurt, my disappointments. And the truth is, once you've really processed through that stuff, it's no longer repressed inside of you, then it rarely gets triggered. It rarely comes up to the surface because it's not in you. You know, I remember Dr. Wayne Dyer once said that, and I love this analogy, he said, if you take an orange and you cut it in half and you squeeze it, what comes out? Juice, right? Well, what kind of juice? Not apple juice or grape juice. It's orange juice, right? Because that's what's inside of it. When life or some person squeezes you, pressures you, pushes you up against the wall, and anger comes out, it's because it's what's inside of you. And the more you can take responsibility for the, quote, constricting emotions of anger, hurt, fear, which are all there to give you a message, they're not negative, they're constricting. And the positive emotions we often equate as love, joy, peace, happiness are expansive. And when you can function from love, the one emotion that allows you then to embrace your fears, that allows you to understand your anger, and allows you to love yourself enough to deal with it, to release it, to take responsibility for those feelings. So as you can do so, and I'm seeing this coming up a lot because a lot of people are having a lot of repressed feelings that they didn't even know they had start to bubble up from the surface, coming up from deep within their soul, from deep within their energy, that they didn't even realize that was there. They didn't even know was a part of their experience. And instead of judging it as being unspiritual, instead of pushing it back down, if you can just let yourself feel it, experience it, let it come to the surface, and then to take responsibility for it. This is my anger that I haven't resolved. Yes, things in the outside world, the illusion, have triggered it, but it's mine that I need to resolve and deal with. And on the spiritual journey, there's always, from our immature ego, from the limited self, there's always a layer that you will discover at the core of your anger that is connected to the divine, meaning that a part of me is angry at God for making me different, for making me feel like I don't belong because of my uniqueness and my difference. And that's what I went through growing up, knowing I was different as a child, and knowing it, being conscious of it, was very painful. I never felt I fit in, I never felt I belonged, and a part of me was angry at God for making me this way, so to speak. But in time, as I matured and I grew, I realized that, yes, I'm different, and so is everyone. Everyone is unique. We're all snowflakes, we're unique. But to resolve that feeling of being different was to understand that each of us here are different because we're here to make a difference in the world. And in order to make a difference, you have to be different. Christopher Columbus couldn't have been like everyone else. He had to have a different vision of how the world operated, that it was circular, it was spherical, it wasn't flat. He had to be different, and he was chastised and humiliated and all of that, but he believed in that, knowing in his heart that he felt from his soul to follow the truth, even though he wasn't getting everyone's approval and praise and support. And he shifted and lifted humanity to a whole different octave by his courageous act. And so you are different. And there is probably, if you haven't resolved it yet, there's a part of you that's angry at God for making you that way. And when you can get down to that depth of anger, it's not at the surface, it's deep. So you have to clear out the other angers that you have at your boss, your parents, or whoever, to get down to the core. And once you unhook that, then that anger can transform into willpower, the willingness to be powerful, to own your power, that you're not powerless, and that you've always been powerful. And that is something that when you get to that point, it will shift and lift everything in your life into a miraculous level of healing, of changing, of growing, and of personal peace. And that's when, it doesn't mean you'll never ever get upset or angry in the future, but you won't have that energy inside of you resonating, so you won't be attracting things to make you angry, first of all. So the frequency of getting angry will be reduced tremendously. The frequency of how often you get angry will, and when you do get angry, you'll deal with it. You'll feel it, you'll express it, you'll release it, you'll be done with it. 5 minutes, you're over it. And it's not harbored and held and causing negative impact. Because one of the things I want to leave you with is that your emotions, and this really helped me, your emotions, all of your emotions, you will be responsible for them eventually. You'll either take the responsibility while they're emotional, while they're energy, or if you ignore and refuse and deny those emotions and shove them down, you will take responsibility for them physically. They will come up and out of you. Like I said, they will metastasize into physical illness, poor health, indigestion, insomnia. There's something that you will start getting angry about to force you to feel the anger that you haven't dealt with. And so it's not a question of when or if. It's not a question of if you'll take responsibility. It's only a question of when. And I encourage you to take responsibility for how you're feeling now and stop judging your emotions. Go into them, take responsibility, pull them up, because a lot of you are noticing they're surfacing, they're coming up. And instead of shoving them down and prolonging the agony and pain, feel them, bring them up, journal them, write them, express them, talk to a friend, get that energy up and out of you, releasing it. That's the most positive thing you can do, so that you can get back to the love of who you are, so that you get back to the truth and the beauty and the power and the amazing energy of your spiritual life. Now, when I say that, that does not mean that's actually a part of the process of being spiritual. It doesn't mean you're constricting emotions or unspiritual. No, they're not. They're messages from your soul trying to guide you towards the light, trying to guide you towards your power. So all emotions are spiritual. It's what you do with them that determines whether they're going to be a positive experience for you or a negative experience. And when you ignore, deny, repress them, it becomes very destructive. And likewise, when you're willing to feel them and take responsibility and express and release them appropriately, or maybe I should say responsibly, because appropriately in our world says don't feel them at all, so I don't want to say appropriately because society determines that, but more responsibly, take willingness to be able to respond to those emotions. You will find that your life can transform. And I don't have my glasses on, so I appreciate all the support from everybody, but I can't see exactly who's supporting me. But either way, I just wanted to start letting you know that I'm going to be doing a lot more of these videos, live videos. I'll be doing most of these from my solutions for moving beyond struggle, which is my Facebook group. So I'm going to be posting a lot of these on here, just because it's hard to post them everywhere and figure out where can I go live and where should I go live. And if I do it in one place, then you all can go join the group if you'd like. It's free, and I'm always posting good information that can help you on your spiritual journey towards wholeness, to help you in whatever way I can to take hold of that empowered destiny that you are here to fulfill. And anything I can do to help you do that, I'm honored, and I'm looking forward to participating. So I'm going to leave that with you folks, and thank you for sharing my bathtub time. My water is getting a little lukewarm, so I need to still shave and get ready for my afternoon. So thank you for listening, and I look forward to more of these fun events. Have a wonderful Valentine's Day.